Good morning and welcome back to the Red Mike. Happy Friday. Glad you're here. Hope you've got a good weekend planned. Me, I'm going to be batching it all weekend long. My wife's going out of town with some girlfriends after going to, what's it called? It's not Christmas Magic. What do they call it? Christmas Affair here in Austin. So, yeah, I'm going to stay home and not spend any money. Anyway, these Red Mike messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mike message is sort of a continuation of yesterday's. Yesterday, of course, I talked about, reading body language, figuring out what people are communicating without actually saying anything. Let's turn that around. What are you putting out there without saying it? Um, During yesterday's Red Mic, I mentioned Amy Cuddy's TED Talk, which talked about power pose, right? So I wanted to expand on that a little bit. In a nutshell, she said that you need to think about what your body language is saying, not just to other people, but to yourself. Um, what did she mean by that? She said, figure out, okay, how are you sitting? Are you hunched over? Are your legs crossed? Are you making yourself small? Are you stretched out, open, taking up space? Body language doesn't only affect what other people are thinking about you, but it can also affect what you think about you. Um, because let's face it, nonverbal behavior, nonverbal communication, it's it's powerful. It sends a message. And it's universal, even cutting across cultures or even species. Um, you know, it's like you're out in the woods and you see a bear. What's the advice? Make yourself as big as possible because they're going to think, okay, yeah, he was a little guy, but no, he's not a little guy. He's actually a big guy, and I'm not going to go mess with him, right? So, gets back to Amy Cuddy's discussion of a power pose. It signals confidence, dominance, and on the other hand, if it's a closed, shrinking posture, it makes you look small. It makes you look powerless. It makes you look weak. And these visual cues can be really effective. Um, they can impact who gets hired, promoted, sued. um, Studies have shown that people will make judgments about a doctor's warmth and approachability and their professionalism based completely on the body language they use. Um, and it's not about their competence; it's about their demeanor. So, um, anyway, nonverbal cues don't just stop at external perceptions either. They can affect how you think about you, your thoughts, your feelings, your physiology, power poses. Okay, anybody who knows me knows about this, but think about the superhero pose. You know, you're standing there. You're looking, whether you're looking straight ahead, out a window, um, doing that superhero pose, hands on hips, or with your arms stretched out wide. It can, for men, it can increase your testosterone, known as the dominance hormone. It can decrease cortisol, the stress hormone. Just a couple of minutes in that kind of pose can make you feel more assertive, confident, less stressed. And on the flip side, low power poses where you're folding over, you're hunched, or um, they can reduce your testosterone and they can increase your stress. The reason I laughed about that is a few years ago, some friends of mine and I were down on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and you know that was the pose of the weekend. Yes, I am here. I am having fun. I am Patrick, right? Um, so that was sort of the joke pose of the weekend. But body to mind, they're intertwined. In fact, I listen to Scott Adams almost every day. Yes, he is the guy who created Dilbert, but I've mentioned him before. He wrote a book about reframe your brain, about changing the way you act and react to certain situations, and it can change your outlook. He talks all the time. He's also a trained hypnotist, so he always talks all the time about how body and brain are basically the same thing. If you think you are having, if you think and force yourself to think that you're having a good day, you're being confident, you're feeling good about life, um, you're gonna be. Um, in fact, yesterday or the day before, he during his daily podcast, he said that if studies have shown that if you force a smile, force yourself to smile, just you know, even if you're in a bad mood, that smile, just that simple physical action of forcing yourself to look like you're having a better day than maybe you are, it can actually improve your mood and your outlook. The physical act of smiling sends signals to your brain and almost helps it catch up to where your body is, right? So, what does this mean in practical terms? Well, before you go into a high pressure situation, job interview, public speech, whatever it is, take a couple of minutes and practice that power pose. Stand tall, open up, claim your space. Um, I'm I'm Spartacus. I am in charge. I am the most interesting man in the world. I don't always, yes, whatever it is, whatever you got to do, get your mind right. Free your mind and the rest will follow, right? So stand tall, open up, claim your space. You don't need a special app or any fancy equipment, just a little bit of privacy and the willingness to try. So why don't you do that? You know, do the Dr. Phil, fake it till you make it, right? So practice these confidence poses. Um, yeah, and I said in private, but shoot, if you want to do it on stage, do it on stage. People might get a kick out of it. But you're going to internalize that physical pose, that physical action, that physical posture, that way of putting that message out there, right? Body and the brain, they're connected, right? Standing tall for a couple of minutes, it can lead to changes in how you feel, you perform, and you interact with the world around you. And it's not just it's not just for people who have something important to do. You know, it's for everybody. So if you're feeling powerless, you're feeling overlooked, you want to feel more confident, take a couple of minutes. It's simple, it's free, and who knows, it might impact how the rest of your day, your week, your month, your life goes. If you are feeling powerful, if you're feeling confident, you're going to bring your real self to the table. And you know what people really want to see? They want to see the real you. They want to see you at your best. So practice it. Put it out there. Send the type of body language out into the world that you want people to see. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you find it helpful. And gotta say, yesterday I got 2 or 3 comments down in the below here. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. As I always say, these Red Mike messages are for y'all. Yeah, they're for me. They're getting this, gobbledygook out of my head on a daily basis. But it is really, it's really gratifying and humbling to see the interaction, to hear back from folks. I appreciate it a whole lot. I really do. Um, Monday, um, I'm going to touch base on some what I think is some really bad marketing in terms of actually selling a product. Um, but you can't deny that sometimes really bad marketing, if nothing else, will get people talking about you. Um, does that translate into sales? Probably not. But, who knows? We'll see. So, over the weekend, if you get a chance, think about some really monumentally bad marketing, bad ideas that you saw, and you were like, man, what were they thinking? Because that's what I'm going to be talking about a little bit on Monday. Again, hope you all have a great weekend. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I'll see you again Monday. And until then, don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon.